Good morning, folks. Fun day to be an observer as we've got things to check out from the sun to the earth and around the solar system, actually. Article update for those interested in the planetary disk evolution ideas and some weather alerts as well. We will begin over at spaceweathernews.com and find the last day on our star was much less calm than before. We've got two things to check out. First is the filament activity on the incoming limb, and then, more importantly, the eruptive activity within the filament field departing on the north. These snapped violently and produced a sizable CME that is not going to hit Earth or any of the inner six spheres. You can see Mercury and Venus on the coronagraphs, and as we come over to SolarSystemScope.com, we find that Mars is grouped to that side as well. Observers knew an uptick was expected this week with the heliocentric and geocentric geometries. Jupiter and Saturn off to that same side as well for a solid imbalance of resonance. Just 5 more days until the primary solar alignment of Mercury and Venus. The solar flaring resulted only from Hyder flares on the erupting filaments. The sunspots aren't totally absent, but they're almost too small to see, and they're not flaring. The solar wind continues to calm. We should definitively be able to notice any CME impact in the coronal hole streams that are expected in the next 24 hours or so. Eyes on that today. This is the coronal hole that is releasing that solar wind stream. You may also remember it's driving a quake watch, and we've had only 2 of note thus far. One took the west coast of the United States back up over the 4 magnitude range, and another one came in high down south in the Pacific. It was likely a bit bigger than that, actually. As we come to the PFSS image of the corona hole, you can see the difference between the magnetic fields contained on the Sun and those that stream out to the planets, whether it's the polar fields we've studied quantitatively or those further down in coronal holes which can more easily hit Earth. It's all part of the same interplanetary magnetic field system. The top article today is about the protoplanetary disks, as I mentioned earlier. Interesting simulations, especially with the magnetic characteristics resulting from a gravitational model. Before we hit the weather, Kickstarter folks struggling to figure out the reward survey stuff. Kat sent out a second survey from Mrs. SO at suspiciousobservers.org, so look for that. It includes the size item for your shirts and hoodies. You can also email Kat at observatoryproject.com with your address and size, etc. Okay, back to business. Weather got wild in the Midwest right where it was expected to last night. The storms march on today, and even with a major hurricane churning off the Mexican coastlines, the top alerts today come north in the plains as the sun sets. Eyes open into the Midwest again as well. Typhoon heading at the northern Philippines, China, and southern Japan, while the Earth spot to the south begins to take on New Zealand as well. Eyes open there for a fast weather switch tonight. Across the pond, we're seeing one low moving on to the northeast while the Icelandic low reaches over to Ireland and the UK in a couple of hours for some more showers. Once again, let me remind desert observers of the brunch in just a couple of days here. Details are at observatoryproject.com, and you can email Kat or sign up on Facebook so you have a seat. We went over and confirmed our room location yesterday. We've got shots of our star to close here. It's 3:45 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open, no fear. Be safe, everyone.